In this video, we're going to talk about selecting elements by attributes. We kind of went over the element selection tool earlier, so this is just another way to select elements. One of the easiest ways to get to the select elements by attributes is go down into your status bar down at the bottom, where your selection set information is. If you left click on it, you have several different options. You have select element, select all, select none, and select by attributes. The select element option down here will take you to your element selection tool. Select all, if I select that one, it will select everything in my drawing file. Select none will of course clear out my selection. But the one we're going to be talking about is this one that says select by attributes. So if I select that one, it'll bring up my select by attributes dialog box. This is where we can define what we want to select in our design file by the attributes of the element. Every piece of geometry in MicroStation has attributes assigned to it, whether it's the level, color, style, or weight, or the type of element that it is. So in this select by attributes dialog box, we can go in here and define what we want to select inside this design file. So for this example, we're going to go out in our design file and try to select all these trees that are out there based on the attributes of these trees. So first, I need to find out some information about these trees. The easiest way to find out what level an element is on is if I go up to my element selection tool and I make sure I'm on the individual method and I'm on the new mode. I go out and hover over an element. It's going to pop up a little box and it's going to tell me what it is. It's an annotation cell shape, and it's going to let me know what level it's on. It's on level environmental new trees. So now I know what level these trees are on. Now if I go over to my select by attributes dialog box, under the levels option, I can come down here and find environmental new trees. And then all I have to do is left click on it and select it. If those were the only attributes I wanted to select, I could go ahead and come down here and hit execute. But first I'm going to find some other information about these elements. So to do this, I'm going to make sure I'm in my drawing workflow and I'm on my home ribbon. I'm going to go to my element selection tool again. I'm going to make sure I'm in individual and new, and I'm just going to go out and select one of these trees. Now that I have it selected, I can come up into my primary group, and in this last row, this second icon down, it says properties. I'm going to select that one, and since mine was docked on the side, it just popped out. So now I can look at some other information about this element. I'm going to come down here and go ahead and select on shape, and then I'm going to go to the general tab, and I can see some more information about this element. So now I can see the level, color, style, and weight. So now maybe if I want to go back out to my select by attributes dialog box, down here under symbology, I could narrow my search down even more. So now that I know that the color of my environmental new trees was the color of 4, I could check on that box. I could come over here to this pull down, and I could find the green color 4, select it. So now it's going to search and make sure that the elements are on the level environmental new trees, and it's going to check for the color of 4. Also, over here on the side, you have your types. They're all selected by default, but if you wanted to narrow your search down even more, and you knew what type of element it was, you could just select that one type if you wanted. I'm going to go ahead and make sure all of my types are selected. So I'm just going to select one of these and kind of hover over it, and hit the Control and the letter A key at the same time, and that will select all of them. Underneath the types, you have your modes. The first one is inclusive and exclusive. Inclusive means you're going to select all the elements that match the search criteria. And exclusive is just the opposite. It just means it's going to select all the elements that do not match the search criteria. So I'm going to leave it set to inclusive. The next one, you have selection, location, and display. Selection, of course, is going to select the elements. Location is just going to locate the items. And if you select display, it'll create a display set of the elements that get selected. I'm going to leave it to selection. And then this last one is on and off. If it's set to on, your search criteria will be effective. And if it's set to off, your search criteria will be ignored. So we want to leave it set to on. If that's what I want, I'm just going to hit the execute button. And now you can see it went out and selected the trees. It's telling me down here at the bottom at my selection set, I have 72 items selected. So now if I wanted to go out and move these or delete these, I could do that all at one time. If I come back up to my Select by Attributes dialog box, and I go to this Settings pull down, you can also search your design file based on these settings. So if I wanted to search text, I could select that, and it's going to pop up a box saying select by text, and it's going to want to know what I want to select by, whether it's the font, the height, the justification, or what the text says. So I could select items that way as well using the settings pull down. So if I'm done with my Select by Attributes box, I can just close it. And when you close it, you will get this warning saying that you will allow that dialog box to continue to filter the display of the elements, or you can select cancel to stop it. I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK, which is fine. And you can see I still have my elements selected out here. So since I'm really not going to do anything with these items, I'm going to go out and clear my selection. And that's how you select elements by attributes.